Hello and welcome to NewsClick. With the projection of Narendra Modi as a prime ministerial candidate, or at least as the campaign in charge, the BJP has set the momentum going for the general elections of 2014. But this is likely to have maybe a positive or maybe a negative response as far as the BJP and the NDA is concerned. To discuss this and related issues, we have with us today Professor Anil Mishra, Professor of Political Science in Delhi University, a veteran political commentator and author of a book on coalition politics. Welcome to NewsClick, Anil.
Thank you.
Anil, the BJP's announcement of Narendra Modi has galvanized the election scene. Clearly, the BJP expects this will work to its advantage. Others think it will work to the disadvantage of the BJP. What is your view?
Actually, in my view, it will work to the disadvantage of BJP because BJP is a partner in NDA. So it will definitely work for the disadvantage of NDA. So if NDA gets weakens, then BJP has no chance to form another government or come to power. What I think that if they should have consolidated the NDA process, not the kind of propaganda and the kind of thing which they made around Narendra Modi. But they were not confident to project any other leader because they were in disarray for a very long time. So they wanted to have a face. After Vajpayee, they didn't project anybody else. So they had taken a gamble. And they felt that if Narendra Modi is projected with the Gujarat so-called development model and with all the hype which they have created, infusing a lot of money in the media and whatever may be resources in the media, they will be able to create the kind of atmosphere. And on that, they may capitalize anti-UPA sentiment.
Right.
That was their, I think, their view. But what they fail to understand is that in a country like India, which is so diverse, where state politics has come to assert in a very positive way day by day, it is not the magic that will finally work. And it is not even magic. It is not even magic of Vajpayee. At the height of the magic of Vajpayee and height of the Ayodhya movement, they have been able to get only 182 or something like that. They can't go beyond that. And if they can't go beyond that, I'm not saying that they will get that. But then Modi will have no, because they'll find it very difficult to have alliances.
BJP's calculation, or at least those who favored projecting Narendra Modi, calculation seems to be that what they lose on this count, which you have so well analyzed, that what they will lose on that count, they will gain through the charisma of Narendra Modi. Even his polarizing effect will attract Hindu votes, and that will offset their losses. So although you say that they should have concentrated on the NDA gains, the BJP seems to think that they can gain on the BJP front what they may lose on the NDA front.
That is the wrong perception of things, because what I feel, they might have thought to save the BJP, even for 130, 140, even if 115, because BJP is a complete disarray. If you find out the last 2-3 years, they have not been able to effectively in the parliament. They boycotted it. They didn't make any use of anti-UPA sentiment. Being the main opposition party, they have failed to perform their role at all. So, and also because the inner bickerings of the party and absence of personality like Vajpayee and Advani in the main scene, and there are so many second ranking competing with each other, some lobby of the BJP tried to project and finally give a stamp to Modi to install these kind of process.
Sure.
And they might have thought to protect BJP, even if not to, and so they have clearly made a gamble, which I think will not pay.
There are, of course, within the BJP itself, as you pointed out, many voices, including Advani and so many others, who were not happy with this decision, who probably also had views somewhat similar to this, that this will cost the BJP too. And that is perhaps the reason why you get so many voices now somebody talks about some chief minister being very good, somebody says Sushma Swaraj is a very good leader, and so on. Is that the reason why you get these different voices?
Yes, of course, that is the reason. But even now, well, if suppose they all have reconciled for a time being to Modi, but still in their inner core, it is not that they have already settled the scores or whatever, they have reconciled to it. But now they have decided to go with Modi after initial jerk which was given by Advani. But if you go by state-wise, where is Modi's appeal? His appeal is very limited. And then one thing is very sure, that Hindus vote are not a monolithic kind of thing.
Quite right.
It is vertically and horizontally divided in castes, even in class, and even in youth also, in women, whatever you may say. Each region has a very different choice. And if you start from south, BJP, Kerala, nothing, no base, nil almost. Andhra, very inconsequential. Tamil Nadu, inconsequential. You could come to West Bengal, hardly any gain. Odisha also, they are not. In Bihar, where perhaps combined strength of NDA might have given a good strength, which is right now 32 in the Lok Sabha, that will be also reduced. So their strength, if you analyze, they might improve. Say some seats in Maharashtra, okay, might be very close fight in Rajasthan. Gujarat has already reached. Gujarat, they may improve 2-3 seats. What about UP? UP is the main citadel where they cannot. There is no chance of improvement. I tell you, because it still is polarized Mayawati and Mulayam Singh.
Anil.
So where the charisma work, I don't know.
Yeah. Given your background in the socialist movement and your familiarity with this context, analyzing against this background, what exactly do you think was the rationale behind the JDU deciding to break away from the NDA? Was it a calculation about the backlash from a Modi candidature, or was it also a longer term assessment of the future of the NDA?
I think it was both. Partially it was because Nitish Kumar from the day one has voiced his reservation in Modi. Sure. He came to power twice and didn't allow Modi to campaign there. Main campaigner, so star campaigner for BJP, he didn't allow him. And then the way BJP thrust Modi, so they also thought that Nitish Kumar perhaps will not tolerate. And then people forget that whatever may be said, Nitish Kumar has some kind of acceptability within Muslim community. Sure. And in last election, he got more than roughly 25-30% vote of Muslims.
Which is quite substantial.
Quite substantial for him, despite the fact that aligning with BJP.
That's right.
So this is political. I mean, political. You can say very not shrewdness, but political strategy and also acuteness. I mean, the
sure.
acumen.
Sure. So would you say that Nitish has come to a conclusion now, which Patnaik had come to some time back in Orissa?
Correct. Nitish Kumar's dependence on BJP was more than Patnaik, yes, in a sense.
That's right.
Because Patnaik
much deeper alliance.
Much deeper, and Patnaik himself emerged as a leader and on his own. He carried BJP. But here slightly the situation was different, because Nitish Kumar was not that strong earlier. Sure. He made his way, and then as chief minister, he made an impact, but did not compromise on the basics with Modi. One thing can be said about Nitish Kumar consistently, that he opposed Modi, and finally when BJP decided about him, then he didn't have any choice left, and no choice left. Because if you have been consistent political opposing Modi, then how could you accept him finally? Sure. So that would have seen as opportunism. And Nitish Kumar, perhaps to my mind, whatever may be right or wrong, he has retrieved his position, which earlier socialists, George and others, failed to retrieve.
That's right. The Shiv Sena, which has been one of the most steadfast allies, is a partner in the Hindutva ideology with the BJP, has also been saying quite clearly that unless the NDA is strengthened, there will be no chance, and therefore they are not happy with the current setup. Yesterday and the day before, there were interviews with the president of the BJP, with Rajnath Singh, on the media, where he was asserting that other pre-poll alliances and maybe post-poll alliances could come to strengthen the NDA. What is your view as to the prospects, particularly of post-poll alliances?
I'm not very optimistic of the post-poll alliance of NDA because of the partners. It is not that the election is going to take place only 1 year, or maybe even earlier. If it's earlier, 6 months. If it is a time, it is one year. 1 year, it is not that long period that all those partners who have estranged from BJP and finally moved away from BJP, they can say after poll they suddenly will come and join BJP. Sure. Because they, whatever opportunism, but you have to find out some excuse, some reasonable kind of which the electorate wants. Suppose, for example, if Nitish Kumar is given a good mandate from Bihar,
and then he joins
BJP, it will be betrayal, and that betrayal is not permitted. Normally, people don't do that. Sure. Because it goes against the mandate. Mandate is not only arithmetic terms, because last time Congress got 206. It is not a clear-cut majority, but overall people thought that BJP was rejected and some kind of secular alliance would take place.
Something that has been puzzling several commentators, and certainly I have been very puzzled by this. The BJP last 2 elections has been making a virtue out of the fact that, unlike the UPA, which does not promote a candidate for prime ministership, the BJP and the NDA have projected a prime minister candidate. And it is with that in mind that they projected Narendra Modi. And even now, that is the broad projection. But in formal terms, they are still calling him only campaign in charge. Does this symbolize still a hesitation on the part of the BJP, some anxiety that if we project him as prime minister candidate, there will be a backlash? What is the explanation for this?
Actually, they are trying both strategy, because within BJP inside, they can say that for people like Advani that after he's just a campaign in charge, but for general masses, the way he will campaign, and as a campaign manager, he will be allowed to utter and galvanize Hindu whatever mobilization on the basis of communal line. And I have people have telling me, some activists from different part of the world, that may create problem before election. One has to be very cautious about it, because they may create that communal tension to get heightened. And therefore, all the secular forces, even if all the differences, this would be cautioned, and the people, so that at least the elections should not take on this line. Because the way, suppose being exposed, then they will not have any alternative than to create this kind of atmosphere. And they have started, some signs are already there.
With going to Ayodhya.
Yes. So either election commission or all the institutions or all the people have greater responsibility. Modi, any political party can project anybody. It's welcome in democracy. But nobody can take this kind of recourse, which will disturb their entire society as such.
So, to sum up our discussions today, your idea is that by projecting Modi as a future prime minister, the BJP has done damage to its own prospects, but also that it may pose a severe challenge to communal harmony and peace in this country. Is that your assessment?
It is my assessment, and now it is being articulated. If you go through the interviews of Nitish Kumar recently, 3-4 interviews he has given, he has articulated this. The man who is already in the midst of the trouble, और अभी उसने कहा कि बिल्कुल जो कंट्रोवर्सी के बीच का आदमी हो, उसको आपने प्रोजेक्ट कर दिया. तो और फिर जिसके अभी भी जिसके खिलाफ तमाम तरह की चीज़ें चल रही हैं, वो सेटल नहीं हुई हैं, उसको प्राइम मिनिस्टर के रूप में प्रोजेक्ट करना, मुझे नहीं लगता कि बीजेपी के लिए ये कोई राजनीतिक रूप से कोई सही कदम है। ये एक डेस्परेशन का कदम है। उनको लगा कि इससे मैं बीजेपी को बचा लूँगा।
They think that without this there will not be anything else that they can.
यस, तो ये एक बात हो सकती है, लेकिन मुझे नहीं लगता कि इससे उनको पॉलिटिकल डिविडेंड, इट इज़ टू अर्ली, दे शुड हैव, अभी थोड़ा अगर उनको करना था थोड़ा वेट करते। और मुझे तो लग रहा है कि यूपीए, इससे खतरा ये हो गया है कि यूपी ने जितनी गलतियां की हैं और जिस तरह की आर्थिक, सेकेंड यूपीए के संदर्भ में मैं कहना चाहूँगा कि जिस तरह से उन्होंने गलतियां की और जिस तरह से देश को दिशाहीन ले गए, और इतने अब ये ठीक है कोर्ट तय करता है, लेकिन जो आपके भ्रष्टाचार के, आपके अक्षमता के हर तरफ ऐसा लगता है कि देयर इज नो गवर्नेंस।
So this will go into the background and the misdeeds of the BJP will come to the foreground.
दैट इज़ वेरी अनफॉर्चुनेट फॉर इंडियन पॉलिटिक्स कि अगर ऐसा होता है तो फिर वोटर के पास चॉइस क्या होगा? चॉइस इज सो लिमिटेड बिकॉज कि समाजवादियों और वामपंथियों और जो प्रगतिशील ताकतें हैं वे भी असफल रहे कि एक कम से कम ओवरऑल एक ब्रॉडर, मैं अलायंस की बात नहीं कर रहा, एक पॉलिटिकल प्रोसेस, एक फॉर्मेशन, पॉलिटिकल फॉर्मेशन तो हो जो कि जनता के पास जा सकता। या अभी थोड़ा समय है, हो सकता है इस बीच में कुछ बातें हों, लेकिन अगर ऐसा नहीं होता है तो ये फिर तो मुश्किल है।
Thank you, Anil.
थैंक यू।